Hey there, Eli here to talk about strategy in Hotfix number 5 for the early access for Dark and Darker regarding Bard vs Cave Troll in the Goblin Caves. What I'm going to do in this video is go over recorded gameplay of me going in with just a Grey Rapier and a Grey Falchion, and how I approach entering the Troll's boss room, what to do after we kill him, and how to escape. The Rapier is to kill the Troll because it gives a far less minus movement modifier, and the Falchion is to kill PvE and PvP. In order to acquire these, you'll want to go to the weaponsmith and watch for when he has rapiers and or falchions for sale at 8 gold apiece. When he does this, he has them in infinite stock, so you can stock up on 8 or 10 of them. It's also worthwhile keeping an eye out for green and blue items that he has for sale, as he'll sell greens for 41 and blues for 91. And depending on their stats, these are cheaper than you're going to find in the trade channels. As for our songs during the Cave Troll fight, we're going to use Aria of Alacrity for our 15% action speed. This is really important because coupled with our perk for rapiers, we're getting a total of 20% increased action speed, which is great. I also tend to put on Ballad of Courage for some extra physical power bonus. And as of the latest patch, we only have to hit 2 notes again to hit Shriek of Weakness. This is going to be really important to land. And fortunately, there are a few moves where we can reliably hit these songs during the fight. As for the perks, we're going to do Rapier Mastery, Charismatic Performance, Superior Dexterity, and Wanderer's Luck. Wanderer's Luck gives us 100 luck, which is the primary reason to pick a bard over a rogue. Killing the Cave Troll as a rogue with Poison Weapon is really easy and super consistent, mostly because of how easy it is to get around 40 agility on them, meaning we move and attack really fast. But if you want to get consistently better loot out of the golden chests that he has in his victory room, then you'll pick a bard. And with that, let's load into a match and I'll talk about what I did and what I'm thinking about as I go through. Alright, so in this one we started in the northeast part of the map, and we just ran towards the center because the center of the map leads to the Troll Cave. We found a Warlock on the way, and I want his health pot, so we're going to kill him. Couldn't loot him fast enough, so we're going to take care of the skeleton. And it's really early in the map. I don't expect to find anyone coming unless it's a rogue, potentially, going for the same thing. So we're just going to run through. We're going to unequip our chest piece and our pants as well, so we run a little bit faster here. As movement speed against the Cave Troll is what keeps you alive. And we'll kill the spiders because they'll follow us, and I jump down to displace my movement sounds, just in case anybody's listening or nearby. And here it's always a question of, do you wait to see if other people show up and try to kill them? Because a bard is probably going to kill a rogue or barbarian, whoever shows up that's also naked. But I decide to go for it. And now we leave the door open so that we can reset if he decides to start with a shout, as that leads to a 50-50. And I know you can read the movement to dodge it, but I just don't. So we hit him with a Song of Weakness, and we follow his pattern, staying relatively close. And right there I kind of missed. I messed up a little bit. I stayed a little bit too close, so his slam hit me. As you can see there, he just moved to the side with a little bit of distance, and he won't hit. When he does his giant slam, we take that opportunity to reapply weakness. And when he does this big wind-up, we get a couple hits in and look down to avoid it. Always be moving back and away on that second swing that we can evade here. Big slam, we'll do another weakness. And when you do that, always be ready for him to shout in case you're just outside of range and he does his yell. You'll need to run next to him in order to avoid the yell. And this whole time, we're trying to keep an eye on our buffs and get as many headshots in and body shots in as we can. Remember, body shots do more than limb shots. Oh, and there's the shout. Always want to be ready for that. Take this time to get one of my buffs back on. I want to get Alacrity on. So we're going to do the same movement pattern. Oh, and I screw up here. I wasn't actually ready for this. And when you guess the 50-50, I guessed right, thankfully. but when you're rebuffing, it's risky to do it in the normal pattern there, like I did, because if you're out of range, you just have to always be ready and waiting for him to do his shout, so you really want to be ready to hit cancel. And we have a wizard. So I'm going to take this time to try and buff up. I actually missed my Song of Protection there somehow, but I managed to get it off, and he decides to use Magic Missile from afar, which isn't great. I'm getting ready with Song of Silence. And I actually screw up there because he picked the right time to put a zap on, so we're trying to bait him out, and we silenced him, get some protection on here. He decides to run and tries to haste away instead of trying to go for the kill. I'm not really sure why he does this, because a wizard in a big open space like that should win every time. And now we're going down to the cave. We sit and listen for a little bit here, but get our temporary health back. And at this point, the mage is likely the only person who is paying attention. So I probably don't need to worry about anyone else coming, so I'm going to re-equip my gear. Keep getting my temp health back. And we'll open up the chests. Use our Wanderer's Luck. Get a little bit of health back, just in case we have to run through the red, which is pretty common. Let's go ahead and loot. Wanderer's Luck didn't do anything for us there. That's okay. You notice on the map here, our circle isn't that bad. We'll have time here to finish looting up all the junk we're going to sell and get back upstairs. I can't say I know exactly what can and can't be heard when we're down here, but I try to buff when I'm in the victory room, just in case someone is outside. Try to muffle our sounds a little bit. And on our way out, we'll do Den of Darkness to spot out anyone invisible that's hanging out by the door, rogues or anyone with an invis pot. It seems, if no one's here, like right at the stairwell, you're probably safe. Probably. And we always want to go up a floor, even if it means going into the red. We don't have to this time, right this moment. But you always want to go up, as the escape portals don't seem to spawn very often in that middle room down below us with the skeletal champion, or sometimes it spawns the skeleton mage. This is why we bring the falchion on top of killing wizards. Coming this way is pretty good. It's a pretty centralized spot on the map, and it also gives us access potentially to this exit, but it looks like someone was waiting there to take it. So I generally will check this area for that escape. And now we're just kind of chilling. We have our buffs are going away, and we're kind of clearing out the PvE in this area so we can feel a little bit safe and be able to listen properly. And we'll go in here and we'll check out for an escape portal. The escape portal should be spawning somewhere near here. We're going to rebuff. And here I was just curious about my defensive stats after Harmonic Shield and before. And there's our escape portal. And that's it. It wasn't a crazy loot haul or anything like that. But the fight is pretty consistent. We only really need 2 buffs. Well, we only really want 2 buffs on. which is the action speed and the physical damage boost. And on top of that, hitting the Song of Weakness is really important to help us with our clear time of killing him. Alright, this is the match after that one, and this is actually a really interesting spawning point because we have a choice. We can either go straight to the Cave Troll, or we can kill the Centipede here. Now I think it's worthwhile to kill the Centipede as well because the Bard does exceptionally well against the Centipede one-on-one. But I hear some movement as I get started here, and so I wait. And I'm listening, and I decide, you know what, maybe I should go open up this. This is the path we take to get to the Cave Troll, so we might as well open it now, in case we need to get away. And I sit and listen. And I was right. Yes, someone is coming. I get Song of Silence out. I see it's a wizard. I see he doesn't want to fight, which is fine with me because I do. Because the reality is the fewer players that are in here, the fewer the odds are that I can get interrupted later after I kill the troll. And I don't really know what he did here. I kind of assumed that he went into the other room. And he did. He wants to peace out. I do not want to peace out. Oh, he has Arcane Shield. That's fun. So anyway, we'll take his pots, remove him from the match, and let's kill the Centipede. And while we're doing this whole process, I guess I'll outline kind of what we're doing here first. So you want to stay at max range with the Centipede as you're meleeing them, because you can turn around and run. So like here he's too close to me, so I want to move back here. You always want to be at range. That was silly of me, I could have avoided that. But if you're at max range, you can turn around and run and then move just slightly to the right like that, and then evade his poison hits. And the Bard is exceptionally better than most other classes at soloing this guy because we get Harmonic Shield, which helps us deal with his long-range hit, which is the only thing he can do. And we debuff him. You know, essentially any PvE monster is at a disadvantage versus the Bard. And so another perk of killing the Centipede here is that if I look at the kill feed in the upper right, I know that the Cave Troll hasn't killed anybody, so presumably there's a high chance that he hasn't been engaged at all. And if he has been engaged, I will be able to interrupt them and kill them and take over the fight. And so it's the first one. No one's engaged him, which is great, which means interest, the players that are interested in checking out the Cave Troll to interrupt other players doing it, or people that want to do it themselves, that time has probably passed, so most likely it's safe for me to do this uninterrupted. And on an economic note, the Cave Troll is great because he can drop purples, right? That's pretty awesome. The Centipede is maybe more consistently profitable because he's going to drop rings, and looks like I screwed up here, so we're gonna guess, and we guess right. But he drops rings, and rings have maybe, I don't know, in my experience, a better chance of having higher sell value than random weapons and gear, as there are a lot of weapon types in particular that people don't seem to generally want because of their attack patterns and move speed negatives. So I feel like the Centipede is more economically viable and easier to deal with than the Cave Troll. So if you're someone who's like, Eli, I can't kill the Cave Troll, like I just don't have the skill, I don't have the time to learn his attack patterns, that's fine. Go ahead and learn the Centipede. It's really a lot easier, and any class can do it. So yeah, I would focus on that. And here we had a ranger who did come and actually try to assist, it looked like, which was, not super unusual, I'd say. I'd say it's kind of like 50-50. And right there, you saw I had to jump that attack. If you're too close, you can jump. I believe you have to crouch while you're midair. you know, do a jump crouch to avoid it, but you can avoid that close range. So the ranger joined, and my mentality is I don't want anyone with me at the end of the fight. So if someone wants to try to assist, my assumption is that they're going to die, because they probably are, because he's probably going to shout at them and lunge at them in 50-50. So odds are high that anyone trying to actually assist you is going to die. And then if they get too close, you can Song of Weakness both the troll and whoever's trying to assist you if they're melee, and turn around and kill them at an opportune moment. Yeah, don't let people be with you at the end. Chances are they're... Well, let me rephrase. If you're going to allow other people to help you, get ready to kill them, because they're thinking the same thing. And we got a purple, but it's a short sword. That kind of goes back to what I was saying about the economics here. Short swords, you know, they're good. They're good weapons, but the perception, in my opinion, from a lot of the player base is that they aren't good, or they aren't as good as other weapon types, so they don't sell as well. Yeah, there's a lot of perception issues, I think, in terms of economic value, but you have to roll with what is versus what should or shouldn't be. So we win again, and we're going to loot everything. Lanterns are actually 10 gold, which, you know, it's not great because they take up 4 slots, right? They're a 2x2. But if you have no other gear to sell, then it's better than nothing. And we need to put our armor back on. Do I remember to do that? I don't know. I should, because they made a change recently where if you're naked, you're taking, I think, 22% more damage. So you want to have base armor on. There we go. I figured it out. Perfect. And I decide I'm going to rebuff here, as opposed to run into the red with expiring buffs. In case somebody is waiting at the top of the stairs for us, I want to at least have my buffs on if I'm going to be taking a little bit of damage. And I'm actually going to pre-pot here as we run out, so we deal with the damage over time. Make sure to put our blue pot back in, and avoid the waist-high trap or head-height trap on the wall on the right there. Yeah, looks like we're pretty okay. So I hear movement, I hear someone being stabbed, so a rogue. And I'm deciding which is better, short sword or falchion. Pretty sure I decide on the falchion here because I just love the attack pattern of it. I think it's really good. And I leave my lantern on my rapier because I'm not using my rapier anymore. I'm not using the rapier for PvP. I am personally really bad with the attack pattern. If you are good with a rapier, it's an amazing PvP weapon. And I do tend to use them on my rogue. I'm just much better with the falchion because it's a lot more forgiving. And we hear this little guy pop up on the other side. Like I said, we want to be up here because typically escape portals are going to spawn on the upper levels. Not always true. I just don't know what the pattern is, so I err on the side of what I think is more common. So, we escape out again. Was it a good loot run? Yeah, it's not bad. If we can sell that short sword for 100 or 150 gold, something like that, probably be about 300. And that's where I'm going to end my first kind of Dark and Darker strategy video here. Let's see what you guys think. You know, leave some comments. Let me know kind of what you think. Was this helpful for you? Any lingering questions that I can help answer and maybe put into another video? If you've taken a look at my YouTube channel, you can see I have historically done Path of Exile stuff, boss farming strategies, you know, looting strategies, that kind of a thing. And that's been fairly successful, but I also love Dark and Darker, and I want to make video content for this as well. So if you liked this, you know, like it, leave a comment. That's super helpful for the YouTube algorithm to get the video out there. It's also even more useful for me as a creator to know what's working and what's interesting and valuable to the community and what's not. So leave your thoughts, I want to hear them. And if this is your first time watching one of my videos, welcome. And as I always say, this is Eli, signing off.